Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Chit Chat Show. We'll chit and chat like there's no tomorrow. I'm your host, Favorite Flav, and today we're going to be talking about fear. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. If you're not, welcome again. And yeah, so basically with this episode, I kind of already recorded it, but when I was playing it back, you know, the audio started tripping out a bit, so I gotta re-record it. But there's no issue with that because I love doing this. I love doing this so much. If you can't tell already, but I do love doing this, and I don't mind re-recording it. So honestly, it's gonna allow me to add more things if I wanted to. And honestly, if this was an assignment, yeah, I don't know if I would even attempt to redo it. But this my baby, so we just gonna do it. It's so cool. And definitely I think I'm gonna be doing more single recordings. Cause I know with the first two episodes I didn't there wasn't really much recording. It was just audio. Unless you're listening in Spotify, you would see the very first video. But yeah. But anyways, let's just get into it. So we're gonna be talking about fear because why not? And honestly, this is something that I've learned or noticed that I do have, that I let control my decisions, without even noticing it, without even knowing I'm making this decision out of fear. And I think because I'm about to graduate and the uncertainty of life after graduation has really been getting to me. I'm very the next move has been out of fear, and I'm really noticing, y'all. But anyways, cool. So for some reason I do get scared easily. So if someone was to sneak up on me, I'm quick to jump. I get startled quick, And honestly, whenever my mom sees me getting started and things like that, she's always this spirit of fear, I need to pray that of you. Any spirit, I bind it out in the name of Jesus. Amen. And she's always this isn't okay, but I never really I just drop it off. African parents, everything is quick to prayer. Amen. But I never really took it seriously. But now that I'm getting older, I'm not, life is about to be life even more than life is already life. I'm really starting to take it seriously because why am I so scared? Why do I get started so easily? And honestly, I'm always this is normal. People get startled quick. If you sneak up on somebody, it's normal to get startled. But whenever I try to sneak up on my mom, this woman does not move an inch. She does not move a single inch. Which I'm just okay, I need that spirit she got, because ooh-wee. If you can see the what's it called? The reflection of my glasses, I got my notes here. I got my iPad here because yeah. But anyways, so cool. So, yeah, I never really took it seriously, honestly, when she's always you need to pray it away. But now I'm getting old, I'm I do need to pray it away. Because I can't be living like this for the rest of my life. But yeah, and honestly, questions I really do be asking myself is just why am I so afraid? Why do I move out of fear so much? And honestly, I'm someone who doesn't like trying new things. I go to the same restaurants over and over again. I get the same exact thing over again. And if I even do try to go to a new restaurant, I'm gonna get something similar to stuff that I'm used to already. Basically, I'm gonna get the same old afraid, chicken Alfredo. I'm gonna get the same burger, the same rice and chicken or goat or whatever. I'm gonna get the same. exact thing, like it could be like, or similar to it. I never really like get out of line, basically. Um, so yeah, I just go do things that I'm familiar with because that's what's basically safe to me, you know? That's what I'm used to. That's what I know. And honestly, when really was the last time I tried something new? And this is something y'all should ask yourself too. When was the last time you tried something new? Something like out of your comfort zone. And for me, I would say the last time I tried something new out of my comfort zone really was what starting this podcast. But this is like, but I don't know if I would call this like out of my comfort zone, even because I already be yapping on my spam, so now I just moved it to this, you know so I don't know. For me, it's very easy to stay in the same like spot, to be honest, because trying to look ahead, y'all, it is scary. Like, she's scared. But y'all, it's scary. And like just uncertainty, it really does scare me. And I'm someone who likes to know. If you know me, you know I like to know. I'm gonna ask why, how, who, when, where. I want all the details. I don't like knowing. I don't like not knowing, you know? Yeah. And honestly, because of like the fear within me, it does make it hard for me to even trust or have faith in myself and people or in God. And not knowing, like, it makes it hard to breathe sometimes. And yeah, and also like when it comes to surprises, I have mixed feelings when it comes to surprises because of fear, but and also because like I don't trust that like this is something that I'm gonna like. And yeah, you never know if you like it until you try it, but I know the things I like and I stick to it. But yeah, like I dislike surprises because it does activate the fear within me, and then it makes you question like, can I trust and have faith in surprises? How would I know this is something I like? How do you even know? And yeah, because sometimes it's just like I could get surprised, and what if I don't like it? You know? Now I'm just like, why would you do this? Now I don't really trust that you even know me, or trust that I even know myself. It's like, yeah, and that's the thing too. I know like this whole fear and things, it's really all in my head because it's all on my head and it's caused by overthinking, which is something that I do a lot. If you listen to my first episode, you know nobody be thinking like I be thinking. But yeah, and honestly, but even with like that overthinking, the fear and things like that, it's the same. Like this is the same thing that does keep me sane, which is weird. Like I don't step out of line. This is the same thing that keeps me in check, you know. And it's kind of crazy, what a double-edged sword. It's positive in a way, but more so negative, But it keeps me in line. It keeps me in check. But yeah, and this is I need to stop. I need to stop. But are we gonna stop? And I wanna like I don't wanna say this is me because like this is me, yes, but is this the person I wanna be? Is this the person I wanna stay at? I don't think so. But yeah, and honestly I do know that fear is holding me back, and it does make me feel stuck at times because like what am I gonna be doing, like without the fear telling me like this is what you gotta do, trying to plan everything out, even there really is not no plan for real, but this is what this is what you gotta, this is what's safe, this is what's comfortable, this is what makes you feel cozy at the end of the day, or cozy-ish at the end of the day, but sometimes like I really do need to, I do ask myself, do I rather be stuck, miserable, and comfy because in the things that I know, do I rather just be that with fear, or do I get uncomfortable and break free from fear itself and basically deal with whatever life stresses comes while I'm breaking free, while I'm free, And honestly, I do know like being comfortable is very dangerous. It's very dangerous because like um I I don't know if y'all I've heard this thing where it's just like if you put a frog in nice cool water, right, in a pot, and then you turn the fire up, right, you put the stove on, and then the water is gonna start boiling slowly, slowly but surely the water is gonna be boiling, it's gonna get hot. The frog is gonna stay there. The frog ain't gonna think nothing of it. The frog gonna be getting more uncomfortable, like, ooh, like it's a little bit warm. This jacuzzi gonna sting or whatever. So the frog is gonna stay there, and the frog is getting comfortable. The frog is gonna get cooked. I'm gonna get cooked if I choose to stay comfortable, and I don't want to be cooked, you know. And honestly, like that's what happens when you're comfortable. When you get comfortable with being comfortable, you know. And I need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You get? I feel like everybody needs to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the type of comfortability that we need. The uncomfortable type. Dang, I'm out of breath. Ooh wee. But I think part of the issue of why I'm so scared or things like that, or to move past fear, is that it's already hard dealing with life as it is right now. So like, how am I gonna deal with life outside of that? I'm already angry by a thread. What if the thread snaps when I do decide to break free? You know? Or the thread could stay the same. Or it could stay the same. And yeah, so now my question really to myself, and if you got the answer for me, let me know. Please. I'm open to learning. I want to know. I want to be free. And yeah, so my question to myself is really like, how do I even let go? How do I begin to let go? How do I begin the process of letting go so I don't let this fear that I have within me like consume me? And this is something that's been controlling my life for a long time. I am 22 years of age, going to 23. Dang, I'm getting old, y'all. Oh my goodness. Going on to 23. Oh wow. Oh wow. Life be moving fast. Ooh. But yeah, how do I even begin to trust myself that I'm not even setting myself up by breaking free? You know, how do I know that I'm not setting myself up for hurt, for disappointment, and then some? And mind you, these are things that I've already like done. I've already disappointed myself countless of times. I've already let myself get hurt countless of time. I've self-destructed countless of times. So I don't even know like me breaking free is about to be the same thing all over again. How do I know that like people got the best interest in heart from me? Like I really can still get heartbroken, you know, and let myself get heartbroken and things like that. So, it's a lot of lack of trust over there, you know. I barely trust myself. I cannot trust somebody else. Yeah, I need help, you know? And also, like, I really even begin to trust others that they won't put me through what have like I myself I put myself through, or what other people has put me through in the past, you know? And what I want to say, I think it was like episode 2 or something like that. I don't know, but I did say that I'm the type of person that will trust somebody, but to an extent, right? I will trust somebody until they give me a reason not to trust them. And countless of times, people have given me reasons not to trust them, and that makes me not trust myself because I let you into my space. I let you deal me those scars that you dealt to me. I let you punch me. I let you hurt me. I legit gave people that power. So it's just like, and they use that power for whatsoever, to hurt me and things like that. So it's just like, now I'm not trusting y'all, and now I'm not trusting myself because it was my fault. I gave you that power or whatever. I trusted you, right? But now, because of all of this life circumstances, that, you know, I can't even trust myself. So it's just like, how do I even trust that I'm trusting the right person? Do y'all like? Did you guys follow that? Like, do I need to draw a map? Because like, I'm telling you, this is all this mumbo jumbo that's in my head for real. And honestly, too, how do I even trust God? You know. And now we're talking about a being that we can't even see. You know, I do believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. But like I said, trust is a really big thing for me. So it's just like, I don't even trust a being that I can't even see. And mind you, this is the most important one that I should be trusting. This is the one that I should put all my trust into, you know? And it's just like, how do I know that the test that God is putting me through, I'm going to be able to handle that, you know? I don't know. It's going to make me stronger. Like, I don't know. It's just not going to finish the job. Because I know, like, you ask God for patience, He's going to test your patience. It's going to test it. My patience have been tested multiple times. You ask for strength, you gonna go through war, you know. And I just want the strength. I don't want to go through the war. I just want the strength. So yeah, so really, it's just like, how do I know? Which is like, obviously, I should just automatically have 100% trust in God. I should believe 100%. I shouldn't be shaken when things come around and things like that. But I'm a very fearful person. So it's very easy for people to say, yeah, just put your trust in God, just put your trust in God. But what do I do with the fear? How do I put the fear to the side? Not even put it to the side. How do I just like get rid of the fear in general? You know? Like, y'all, this is real. This is real. I read the Bible. Don't get me wrong. But the fear still be there. Ooh, that kind of rhymes. The fear still be there. Ooh, shoot, y'all. Don't put me in the book. Don't put me in the book because super hot fire. Anyways, let me get back to this. So yeah, I already lack trust. I already have a lot of lack of trust and things like that. So now, what if that lack of trust that I have becomes more broken? What's next? What's the worst? Like, what if the worst still happen? What's next? You know, like when I do get hurt all over again, disappointed all over again, broken all over again, by myself, by people, you know, what's next? And at the end of the day, I feel like I'm left alone, with myself to pick up all of these pieces. You know what I mean? And yeah, I have friends, I have family, and things like that. But like the fear that I have, like the trust is already not there anymore, after all of these happened. So the fear that I have, it's like, it's not gonna let people get close to me to even help me pick up those pieces. Because how do I know? How do I trust that they're not gonna cut me with it? You know? And honestly, I feel like nobody should be living like this, honestly, like with the amount of thoughts and fear that I be living with. Nobody really should have to like think this crazy because but like I said, I like to know. And when I don't know, it's hard to sleep at night. And then if I do know that, not to trust this person or whatnot, I'm gonna be like, okay, bad, like I ain't gonna trust that person. I'm not gonna let that person get close to me, because I have trusted the wrong people over and over, and I have trusted the right people, but they turn out to be wrong people, So now, after I had to pick up all these pieces, by myself, how do I even like trust somebody else with all of that? Because I feel like I like over and over, like as time goes by, I just become worse than what I am already. Yeah, like the fear just like increases more and more. That's the thing too. It's like I've learned that it's like that fear itself does it do kind of guide me, in a way that nobody guides me. Like it, like I know not to what's it called to go step in front of a bus, a moving bus at that, cause I'm gonna get hit. Like fear ain't gonna let me do that. Fear is not gonna let me go, like put myself in danger on purpose, you know. So that's like there's good parts of fear. Don't get me wrong, but I'm mainly speaking on like the negative part, the part that makes me, makes me me to an extent. Because even when in my first episode, I was talking about like doing grad school, that was me like moving out of fear. That was me overthinking everything. I was really just overthinking it because mind you, I've said to myself before, I said to people, I don't want to go to grad school, especially right after college. I don't want to go to grad school, especially in the school that I'm in. I don't want to go to grad school. But all of a sudden, I'm thinking about grad school. I'm looking at the application. I'm writing these essays on top of the other things I have to do. And that was because of fear. Because I don't know if I'm ready to like step into that world of uncertainty. Like I do need to break free, you know? And yeah, and I've learned that I have a avoidant attachment style. And what does that even mean, you ask? Well, let me tell you. This is where the iPad comes into handy, So yeah, cool. Fearful avoidant attachment, also known as disorganized attachment, is a style of relating to others that combines both fear of intimacy and fear of abandonment. People with this attachment style often crave close relationships but struggle to trust others, leading to a push pull dynamic in their interactions. Let's take a moment, you know, take that all in, right? If this sounds like you, we in this together. You're not alone. Um, and yeah, and I'm gonna go through the characteristics of the fearful avoidant attachment style. Okay, the first one is fear of intimacy, and the description next to it says they may want to deep they may want deep connections but feel overwhelmed or unsafe when relationships get too close. Because why are you too close? Why are you so close? Like, yeah, I get like when someone gets like so close, especially quickly, I really just like I should be putting my guard down, but me putting my guard down is scary because that's like my weak point. Like with no guards, with no shield, how am I gonna be protected? Fear of abandonment is the next one. They worry about being rejected or left, even as they struggle to maintain closeness. Yeah, that fear of rejection is real. Fear of being left, real. And honest, we're gonna get to it. So, inconsistent behavior. They might be warm and affectionate one moment, then distant or withdrawal the next. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, if you're one of my close friends and you're listening to this right now, right, and you start noticing these characteristics in me, if you start thinking of past stuff, you know what I mean, and you're like, dang, this is it's okay. It's okay, Don't worry about it, you know. Also, I would suggest go figure out what type of attachment style you have. It helps a lot. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue. Um, Difficulty trusting others. We spoke about that. Due to past experiences, they may struggle to believe others have good intentions. Yeah. Emotional turbulence. The relationships often feel like an emotional roller coaster due to conflicting desires for closeness and independence. And then the last one is self sabotage. They might unconsciously push people away when relationships become too intimate. So, yeah, let's talk about the push and pull, and which is like where this is like what three of them that is like push and pull basically. The inconsistent behavior, the emotional turbulence, and the self sabotage basically. So I'm a very push and pull person. Like, I'll push you away, I'll pull you back in, or whatnot. Like, for I want to say almost all my relationships. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically, like, I've had a good amount of people leave my life, and without really giving me a reason why. And I'm also a type of person that doesn't like putting blame on other people. So what I do is that I'll legit like be the problem, so that when they do leave, when I do get left, I know the reason why. I know that I'm the reason, and that's something I can live with, you know? So it's very easy for me to push and pull. And basically, it's just like, I feel like that also, oddly, weirdly, or whatever you want to call it allows me to kind of control the dynamic in a way. And I'm very big on control too. Like, the same thing, I like knowing, I like being in control and things like that. It's very hard for me to let someone else be in control. So it's just like, I'll piss you off. I'll annoy the crap out of you just to see how far it can get. And honestly, sometimes I don't even, and honestly, most times, I mean, not even sometimes, most times, I don't even do it on purpose. It's really just projecting. I'm gonna own up to it. One thing I'm gonna do is own up to it. And it's really a lot. It's really all projecting, you know what I mean? Which it's bad. But I will like, I'll annoy you, I'll piss you off or whatever, and like when you do snap, I'm just like, wow, this is all it takes. It's like, I don't know, it's like you can't handle when I do get crazy. Not saying I'm crazy, but I can be crazy. But it's just like, wow, it really does let me know if you're somebody that could stick around or not. You know what I mean? So, and then just pulling it right back and things like that. And another thing too is just like with like the fearful avoidance style or whatnot. Sometimes I don't know when to push or when to pull. It's like the times when I should be pushing somebody away, I'm doing the opposite. And then when I should be pulling them in, I'm pushing them away. So it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like I should be gone. I shouldn't be with this person, but I'm still here. And then when I should be with this person, I'm gone. It's like, but yeah, so there's really no like balance. There's no middle point for me, to be honest. And yeah, it's very difficult. And honestly, we're having like English. Oh my goodness. We're having a fearful avoidant attachment. I feel that it does affect my relationships, with family, friends, and like when I do have a significant other or whatever, a partner, I know it's gonna affect that too, you know? But honestly, just because like this is what I am or have or whatever, doesn't mean like I have to stay this way. And what they be saying, step one is acceptance, right? So I've accepted it. Does it feel great? Does it feel better? No, not at all. But I mean, eventually it will. I just have to be patient, which is something I'm not good at. Oh my goodness. It's so hard. It's so hard. But, we move. Yeah, I would say it's definitely time for me to step out of my comfort zone. And honestly, what's the worst that's gonna happen, and when the worst does happen, okay, and you know, I'm gonna get back up regardless. So what doesn't kill you make you stronger. And that's something I'm gonna like say over and over again. Honestly, maybe I should get it tatted or something like that. It ain't gonna kill you, so you're gonna get stronger from it. I feel like being fearful does, like, it does control my life. It controls my next step. It controls my decisions and things like that. It's like it's so odd, and that all and it stems from overthinking, And I would say like I've gotten kind of sort of better, you know. I've tried not to overthink a lot, and also learning how to like notice if I'm moving out of fear or not. Like, so, and if I do see that I'm moving out of fear, I'm just not gonna do it. Because honestly, like living out of fear, like letting fear control your life is a lot. Like it holds you back so much. Like yes, it's like the reason why I'm here today, but that makes me also think, where could I have been if I wasn't letting fear control my life? You know? Could be worse, could be better. I don't know. Only God knows. And I think another thing too is that I need to be okay with not knowing. I need to be okay with, people's actions and things like that. I just need to be okay with it. I need to learn how not to take anything personal. I need to learn how to be able to like communicate even more effectively. Um, and I would say I am self-aware. I'm very self-aware and things like that. So I would say that's good. That's already a good step. Being self-aware and accepting it, that's already like a good step. Um, and that will let me push to the other steps that are there, and things like that. And also another thing that I've been doing too is reading. I've been trying to read um a lot more, and mind you, I don't like reading at all, like especially when it comes to school. I'm not reading none of that, but I've been reading and learning a lot, especially when it comes to like me overthinking. I would say reading has helped me stop, or not stop, but limit my overthinking, because you can never really stop thinking, honestly. You can always like limit it, and the more you limit it, the closer you are to get to stop and to overthink. And yeah, that's something I've learned from a book. I'm gonna go over, like, I'm gonna do an episode of like this one book that I read, honestly. So, but yeah, fear is not nice. Don't be like me. Don't be living out of fear, because it's gonna affect not just your relationships, to be honest, but the way you look at life. You know, and I'm always like so quick to think about the negative parts, and like I'm gonna navigate through that versus the positive side, versus like the good parts. And also, like when you do live out of fear, it's hard to enjoy the present. It's hard to enjoy life right now. It's hard to enjoy it all, to be honest. So, yeah, I would say challenge yourself to step out your comfort zone, to do something new, to do something that you've never done before, and just see how it goes. And that's definitely something that I'm gonna strive to do. I'm definitely gonna see what's something that I could challenge myself with, what's something new, um, that's gonna make me feel uncomfortable, but I will try to enjoy it, even if it does feel uncomfortable, honestly, you know? And yeah, I would say that's it for this podcast, to be honest. That's it for today. If you're like me and you be living out of fear, you have the fearful avoidant attachment style and things like that, you're not alone. We here. I see you, you know? And it's gonna get better, but you just gotta work for it to get better. I'm talking like it's better for me already. But it's gonna get, I have hope, you know? I have hope it's gonna get better. So, hey, like we gonna do this. We got this, you know? So yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week, you know. Um yeah, let me know what you think of the episodes so far, of this one so far. If you have any suggestions, any tips, any advice, you know, that, hey, bring it on. Teach me, advise me, you know, like we're not supposed to be doing this life thing alone, so bring it on, you know. And I just have to trust that you have my best interest in heart, and if you don't, I just gotta be okay with it. I'm not gonna take it personal. I'm gonna try not to take it personal, you know. So yeah, I'll say that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Um, yeah, that's it. In a clear. Anyways, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, turn your notification on, all that good, amazing stuff, you know. And yeah, if you enjoyed the episode or any episode, you know, you can share it to your friends or whatever. Like, if you want to. Only if you want to, okay? Yeah. And anyways, bye. That's it. I'm talking too much. But then again, it's got the shit chat show, so you can never really talk too much. Okay, let me actually stop. Well, I'm actually not gonna stop talking to be honest. Bye.